gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Our next speaker is Garret Wong, and he is from Winnipeg, Canada. And I asked him, what's great about there? And he said, nothing. So
He's not lying. Any Canadian that knows that.
apparently it's snowing. So,
Yes, there's fun. Go ahead, sorry.
oh, okay. He bought his first rental at 27 and scaled into a large property management company. And on a side note, has a podcast that he hosts. So let's welcome Garret.
It's a podcast.
How to get that in there, right?
Yeah, we had to. Right?
But he says do podcast.
You know, there's someone here that told me that there's someone that I know and he lives in Calgary, and I said, is this person here? And this person said, no, they were too busy, got too much things going on. And they had a massive snowstorm in Calgary, like massive, just during Mega. And I remember saying, karma's a biatch. So you don't come to Mega, it snows. I remember one year, this huge snowstorm in Toronto as well. Garret, you are a very successful property investor on a lot of properties. You also are one of the biggest property management company in Winnipeg. And for those who don't know Winnipeg, it's like, for Australia, it would be like Ipswich. It's the same type of, for those of you. And then for others, it's kind of, it's a place that used to have a lot of boarded up properties. And so when I first started, I learned, but I moved to America, but that's what you bought there. Obviously now that's not the case. It is a place where it's easier to flip. It's much less expensive. The issue is the climate is very harsh, very, very cold. I mean, get minus 25 Celsius. So very, very cold. And the only thing to do is to watch the Winnipeg Jets, right? So, but it's a great place to invest. And this is where we talk about going where the money is, where you can actually cash flow or have good deals. So it's like, okay, I can live in a nice area, but this is where the deals are. And now, Garret, you are now moving into the art of acquisitions, buying and selling business. So you're a well-rounded individual. Explain to us about what has been your key to success. You built the empire, and then you bought a lot of real estate, and you started managing them and say, hey, I can do it for others. And then you basically said, okay, let me expand to other verticals that can service all of my clients.
Yeah, I think the three keys. Number one, I had a pretty serious life scare 2 years ago, almost died twice. And that really, like we talk about focus, right? Focus, changing your value system. So that really changed my whole outlook on business. The second thing is focusing on relationships, and that's been also a common theme. But I think the third thing is my problem-solving ability. Your coach, Hugh, talked about creativity. I always use creativity to solve problems. I mean, even, coaching my staff to not evict a tenant, but try to find a way so they can gracefully exit so that both, I guess, a win-win.
Looking back, to be honest, property management is very hard. It's a very unglamorous, there's no gratification people get. You're dealing with problems all the time, and people, demand things of you that they would never do for their own properties as well. Why did you continue doing it? I know you were doing it for your own properties, but you started doing it for like most multi-unit businesses in Winnipeg. Why did you do it?
It's really helping out. I mean, giving back. I think the thing that...
So hold on, you do property management to give back to the people? Because my property managers, they don't give back. They just don't do anything. Like, right? No, I'm saying, like, I wish my property's like, I want to help you because toilets that are unplugged and tenants calling because they busted their key in the lock. I believe I have a responsibility to come in and save them. In a whirl, my property manager is there to help us make properties great again.
So if anybody tells you they enjoy property management, they're lying.
Exactly, that was my point.
Yeah, but...
By the way, are you thinking about running for prime minister instead of Trudeau or something like that?
Politics? Maybe. You never know.
Politics? Maybe.
Property management, politics. No, I think in all seriousness, I like helping people, and I have the property management company, which runs itself. And I think the saddest thing is a family that gets taken advantage of. They don't screen the tenant properly. They're left with tens of thousands of dollars of damage, and then they just sell. And if they could just get some education that we provide, or if they want us to manage in their, if they're in our region, then that just helps out that long-term wealth.
What is your superpower? For me, to be honest with you, you always do what you're going to say, extremely dependable, respectful, just very good at what you do, very caring, very detail-oriented. And I think a lot of times I find the property managers have a right brain personality where, when the tenant gets upset at them, they get overly excited or there's no plan on what they do. You're all about systems and procedures and automation, not only on your properties, but other properties, correct?
Left brain.
I mean, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not like a disease. I'm a left brain. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's the end of me.
No, systems and processes, I come from a scientific background, and I think systems and processes combined with creativity, problem solving, and technology. We're not afraid to push that envelope, which is why we can remotely manage an apartment block in any city. It doesn't matter whether it's...
Well, what I like is we are planning on doing some roll-ups with him in the area, and specifically in Canada. He's an insider. And because of his background and detail-oriented, it's the type of people that, I look forward to working with you and Zenis and everybody else to do some roll-ups. Home services in Canada is just as equally good. And obviously we're going to need to bring immigrants overseas, which is now easier to get into Canada to do those trades. And that's something we're going to do it. But that's the unique selling proposition. You've done very well, solid, very successful, lots of properties, huge property management portfolio. So I'm looking forward to tackling this next stage of business with you, my brother.
Me as well. Thank you.
God bless.